In this tutorial we talk about a rectangle. Now here we have three types of rectangle. This is a square, and this is a long rectangle, and this is a tall rectangle. So all three of these shapes are considered being rectangle. Now when we talk about rectangle, we have to take care of two of the main feature it has. That means fillet is a rounded corner, as you can see here, and this arc circle has a radius. So instead of being a sharp angle, it has a rounded angle. This is a big round corner, and this is a small rounded corner. So this is fillet, rounded corner. And the other option is chamfer. Chamfer is cutted angle, a kind of shortcut. Now this is a somehow symmetric chamfer. The distance from the corner is the same, 1, 1. And here is asymmetric chamfer. So one distance is shorter and one is longer. The command for rectangle, we find it in Home menu, in Draw panel, and there is rectangle, and also we can find here polygon. Now let's focus on rectangle. So click on rectangle and specify first corner and specify the second corner. Release the mouse button and rectangle is done. Once more again. As we specify rectangle, down in the bar we have some option, and we click for the first corner of the rectangle, we have another three options. And let's focus on these three options we have at the beginning. Now let's focus on the first option. We can go in Home menu, Draw, and select rectangle, or just type RAC, press enter. We select the corner, and the first option, as you can see down in the bar, is area. And it's like in this rectangle. We have to specify type A, press enter, specify the rectangle area, let's say something like 50, press enter, and now we have the option length or width. Length means on horizontal and width means on vertical. Let's keep length and input the value for the length, 10, press enter, and as you can see, this is the rectangle, has the length of 10, and the width of course will be 5 because the area is 50. Once more again, when we choose area, we have to specify the area of the rectangle. If you know, this is the first step. The second step, you will choose between length or width, and for example, if you choose the length, then the width will be calculated automatically dividing the area to the length, and 100 divided to 20 is 5. Now the second option, type REC, press enter, specify the first corner, and the second option is dimension, type D, press enter, and it asks for length, and after that for the width. First it asks for the length, and second for the width. Let's suppose 5 is the length, 3 is the width. And as you can see, the rectangle comes here. Now the third option, type REC, press enter, specify the first point, and the third option is rotation. What we do here, type R, press enter, is set an angle. You can set it manually or just input a value. Let's say 75 degree. And as you can see, now we can go back to area option or dimension option, for example, or rotation. If we choose dimension, type D, press enter, it asks to set the length. Let's keep it 5, the width 3, and our rectangle, as you can see, you can position it wherever you want. There is the rectangle at an angle we specify. If we draw from now on rectangle, all the rectangle will goes under this angle. Type REC, press enter, the first corner of the rectangle, and as you can see, everything goes there. What you have to do is type R, press enter, type 0 for the angle, and it goes straight. Now the other set of option working with rectangle, type REC, press enter, is chamfer, elevation, fillet, thickness, width, and let's talk about this. Now the first one is chamfer and is represented here. All the angle of this rectangle are cutted. Type C, press enter. Specify the first chamfer distance, as you can see here, is 0. Now let's suppose we type 1 and specify the second distance for the rectangle is 1. But if you want to have one like this, asymmetric, you will have to type another value. We will keep for this time value 1, 1, okay? And now we draw that rectangle with chamfered angles. Now once more again type REC, press enter. This time we will choose fillet, the third option. Fillet is a rounded corner. Type F, press enter. Specify radius for rectangle is 1. Let's suppose we want to change it at 1.5 and draw that rectangle with chamfered angles. Many times when we work with rectangles and with fillet, the radius will be set to 0 and we will try to draw rectangle and there will be with very sharp corner just because the radius is not set. So anytime when we want to chamfer an angle, a corner, we just have to set the radius of the chamfer. Now because all the drawing of the rectangle will have filleted corner, as you can see, we will have to set them to 0. So this time we just type REC, press enter, select F for fillet, press enter, and set the radius at 0, and from now on the corner will be straight. Okay, now the third option we have is elevation. This is an elevated rectangle with chamfer corner. Elevation means the distance from the bottom is easy to understand if we will go and rotate a little bit the drawing in 3D mode. That elevation means the distance from the background to the 0 where everything is drawn upwards, as in a kind of 3D way of drawing. So elevation as this distance, as you can see. If we look from the top, it seems to be the same level, but when we rotate it, we can see the difference. So let's draw a rectangle with an elevation. Type E for elevation, set the elevation at 2 this time, press enter, and draw that rectangle. Now let's go back by pressing Shift and pressing the scroll mouse button, and as you can see, they're lifted up. So that means elevation. The fourth option is thickness. And once more again we will see the thickness if we will go in 3D way. Thickness is like a fence. How thick this rectangle should be. Let's type T, press enter, and the thickness should be like 2, and draw a rectangle, and we will rotate this way to see better. If we go to choose something different from 2D wireframe like realistic, we will see it better. It's like a fence. So it's the thickness of the square. And the last option, type REC, press enter, is width. That means the width of the line. Now is 0. Let's set to 0.5 and draw that rectangle. So as you can see, this is the thickness. This has a chamfered corner, and this is the thickness. If we come back and choose once more again 2D wireframe, we'll have this. And from here we can choose whatever we want to have a better view, like conceptual. I'm glad to enjoy this video, share with others, please subscribe, and anytime you forget something, just remember to come here and see a very short tutorial.